Righto, the day is finally here. It is time to see if this thing will start up again. Pretty fucking nervous. So, yeah, let's run through my pre-planning. Let you know what I've done. So hopefully this doesn't catch on fire or explode. So it's a Wednesday afternoon, big afternoon in the shed. So what have I been doing? I have fitted the fuel tank, as you would have seen in one of the other videos. From there, noticed there was no fuel filter. So I have put in a generic fuel filter that's clear so I can see if any shit ends up in the tank. Not too sure what's going on here. There's power to the fuel pump, which I've extended and run. Feed into the fuel pump. Feed out of the fuel pump to the throttle body, connected that. Not sure what this other point does. I don't know if it's a breather or an overflow. So even just gravity fed from the tank, quite a bit of fuel has come up into here, so I don't know, might be a return. So just in case, I have run a return back into the top of the tank. So I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do there. I might have to plumb something in the side if that's going to be a return. Ignition coil fitted, hooked up. What else? Oil cooler lines have been run. Not sure which direction is which, but it shouldn't matter. It just flows through and cools down. So they're fitted, run under the floor. They were the ones I brazed up in one of the other videos. So one in there, hard to see. One of them to a barb fitting there, so that hooks up there. The other one is, the other one's there. There it is. That's the other one. Coolant, same thing. Lower radiator hose, upper radiator hose, all fitted. Obviously I'll need to bleed that. So they run back to the water pump, and the other one runs through there up to the top of the head. That's done. Coolant. Coolant is filled with genuine Honda coolant I had laying around from last time I serviced it. I fitted the overflow bottle just in case, even though it's probably not needed. The dash. So the dash ignition switch is pretty much factory, it just extended, so that was easy. These are gear up, down, that shouldn't matter. Dash is in. The normal start switch that would be on the thumb control is changed to a generic engine start switch, which has 3 poles. Not too sure what's going on there because it's a cheap Chinese thing I got and I'm not sure what's what. So I used my multimeter and put it on connectivity. And I poled across those 2 pins and they're open circuit. When I push the button, it's closed circuit. So to me, those 2 pins are the switching, and potentially that one is illumination because it lights up. So I'm pretty confident with that. Accelerator cable's done, you would have seen the last video, so that is set, ready to go, hooked up. Brakes obviously not done, master cylinder's in, no brake fluid yet, but still on stands, don't really need brakes. Still got to make the pedal. ECM is now plugged in, so that is done. Battery, I had it stored for a little bit, but I had that on charge last night. Battery is in. What else? I think that might be it. So I think it will start, and I'll need to check the engine oil on top of the engine oil because I'm thinking I'll lose a bit of engine oil out of the crank through to the oil cooler because the lines are so long. So I'll check that. Coolant, same thing. It'll probably run until the thermostat opens. This will go down, and I'll top it up with the bottle I've got down there. So yeah, I think that is it. Let's hit the switch and see what happens. Fire extinguisher's over there in the background just in case. So yeah, moment of truth, let's do it. So I've been working on this all afternoon, probably about 6 Great Northerns deep plus 2 or 3 Jim Beams. So what could go wrong? One thing I didn't mention, I still haven't done the drive selector, so we'll check that. The engine run switch, so usually it goes run, stop, run on a switch. So I figured that needs to be bridged out, so I'll bridge that together because I'm just going to rely on the ignition switch and engine start. And the dash should tell me what's going on, so if I kick that, you probably can't hear that on cam, but I just heard the fuel pump fire up, so I don't know if you can see that. Fuel pump is there. Yeah, definitely hear the fuel pump. And there's fuel in there. Okay, yeah, it's pushed fuel through the return, if it's a return. So there's fuel, dash. My dash was already half defective, so the fuel gauge never worked, but it's not connected, that's the fuel sender line, but it never worked before. Mid neutral, so I can probably check that works. So it's down in here. If I flick that drive switch, oh yep, so that goes out of neutral. That way, green light's neutral. And reverse, woo! Oh, too far. Neutral, there we go. So I still need to do that shifter. Still need to do park brake. We've got fuel. These wires hopefully shouldn't matter. That's 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive mode. And that is full automatic or electronic shift. So I still need to do that into the dash panel. Oh, okay. Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, good. That's a bit annoying, bit of noise. Okay, so these got to be welded down because they're a bit fucking noisy. Don't know what that means. Full drive light was flashing, yeah, so that's must be because these are not connected. Righto. Oh, fuck. Multimeter's gone. Righto. So we'll shut that down and we'll briefly check the engine oil because I'm worried about that pumping up to the oil cooler. So you guys can sit over there. That's out. Righto. Bit of warmth already. A bit low, like I thought. So, filter's over here. Sucked a bit out. Was up at the full mark. It's obviously sucked that down, so don't knock me. I've had a couple of beers and I don't have any more Honda engine oil left, so it's still motorbike oil. We'll use that. I'm only gonna, so because the oil pump's been exposed and I had it taped up, but who knows what shit went in there, I don't know, I've been grinding and welding. And I've brazed the oil lines as well. I did clean them, but it could be fucking flux in there or something, I don't know. So I'm pretty much gonna run it, plus it's been sitting for a while. I'm gonna run it to temp, quick test drive. Code of the Wonder Dog will help because she won't go away. So I'll run it, get it to temp. Don't lick me. I'll run it, get it to temp, test drive it, then I'll come back and dump the engine oil, change the filter, and we'll be good. How am I supposed to get any work done with this dog? Anyway. Stop it. If anyone wants a 7-year-old border collie, very friendly. I'll post a link. No, I won't post a link. You're alright. No, but seriously, if anyone wants a border collie, fucking can't a beer. Can't the Great Northern Heavies, dog is yours. Anyway. Literally can't do fucking anything. No, it's still good. Fuck. Don't. Alright. Stop it. Yeah, it's coming up now. It's probably going to take a litre of oil. So I guess with the body being extra 1.5 foot, and it's 5/16 hose. So I guess if you do the math, pi times diameter squared times height. Fuck, I don't know what it was. It's probably a bit of oil. If you don't spill it over the floor. Yeah, it's coming up now. Clean that up, because I'm professional. Tiny bit more. Okay. And we will repeat that process. Oil dipstick in, oil cap on. Alright, let's repeat, see what happens. Okay. Let's do it again. Fuel pump, sweet, neutral. Little vibration. Sounds pretty happy. Pretty quiet bike anyway, so good for hunting. Fuel. All that noise is these bloody things. So, more tack welds. What is doing that? Yeah, that panel there. If we brace that up, it'll be fine. Yep. Some bolts. Hang on to them. Okay. We'll do that again, we'll give it a sec. Cooling's good. Wouldn't be hot enough yet for the thermostat to open, so let's keep working on that. Give it a sec and we'll take another look at the engine oil. Exhaust gets hot pretty quick. I'm looking for this to just settle out, so once all coolers fall, obviously the level will settle. And I think that's it. Level is still normal. So oil cooler should be full. Let's run it for a bit and get the radiator full. Let's try that. Fuel. The fuel is not pumping through that line, so I think that's a breather, but I think it's being pushed up by the tank being higher than the old tank. So I guess if I think about the design, the fuel pump's lower than it was before, and the fuel pump's lower before, and the fuel tank's higher. So obviously in the old quad bike, the tank was here where that gear was, and the fuel pump bolted just down under here on the other side, I think. The fuel pump was there, so it was tank pump. Now, don't know how I could have avoided it, but now it's tank pump down lower. So anyway, let's do it again. Ignition, fuel pump, start. It's a bit of clown. These beer cans. There we go. Actually, this could be the noise. No? Okay. Oh yeah, what's the bolt? There we go. Noise is suddenly gone. See, the fuel isn't pumping through. That's weird. Not a return. Fuel's coming through there nicely. Okay. Radiator cap, I'm waiting on that. Nothing yet. Get rid of that. Good. We're in business. Woo. Still haven't lost any coolant yet. Leave that for now. Yeah, that end's cold. That end's hot. All good. Hopefully there's no airlock with the coolant system. Fuel tank's good. Righto. And pretty much everything's just going to be roughed out and loose. So structural things are fully welded. Underneath the floor is fully welded. All up here, pretty much all the cage is fully welded. So I can take it for a test drive as a chassis before I get too deep into putting panels on. So obviously it's easier to fix things if these panels are off, because these are probably going to be fixed panels. And up here is going to be removable just to get to serviceable bits and little repairs, but not for design flaws. So yeah, we will do that. I'll take it for a quick spin somewhere. Hopefully it fits in the trailer. I haven't checked that either. Take it for a quick spin. Pending that works, we'll bring it back and then we will do final fit out. So, you know, dash panel, fully welded, paint, compartments, drink holders, body panels, racks, roof, halo bars, solar panel, gun racks, tray, so tray sides, handrails, seat. There's still a shitload to go, but I think I've proven the point. If you want to turn a quad bike, it's got to have a decent amount of power. It's got to be 500, 7, well, this is a 680. You at least want 500, I think, to push this amount of weight. But if you've already got a quad bike, don't pay 10, 15, 20, 30 grand for a side-by-side. Just make one, I think. I'm not sure how much I've spent. So at the end of it, we'll go through the receipts with tooling, minus tooling, because I've spent quite a lot on tooling that is an asset, I guess, not parts. So we'll go through that and yeah, make up your own mind, see if it's worth it. So anyway, that'll do for today's video. See you in the next one when we take it for a test drive. Cheers.